As members of the Yoruba nation and indigenous people of Biafra IPOB invaded the premises of the Nigerian House, Kudirat Abiola Corner, Mahamanta, Friday evening, protesters against the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, personnel of New York Police Department were deployed to keep order. The police had a hard time keeping the protesters who had resorted to hooding, hurling unprintable names at anyone that came out or went into the Nigerian House in check. Some of the Nigerian dignitaries they hooded included the Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Oyema, one of his predecessors in office, Babagana Kingebe, and the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency NIA, Ahmed Abubakar. Some journalists who were not spared as some of the protesters accused them of writing rubbish in favor of the Buhari administration. They chanted expletive on anyone they saw, including people not connected to the government but just happened to be present at the building. The protesters accused them of being aiders and abettors of Fulani herdsmen who they accused of killing members of other tribes in the country. Some of them said, if you accuse this terrorist government, you are a terrorist, you are a thief. Nigerian security agents and members of staff at the consulate who could no longer stomach the insults confronted the protesters, almost resulting in a fisticuff exchange. They also expressed anger that the police allowed the protesters to step into the Nigerian House property rather than restrict them to opposite or adjacent to the building. Some of the police personnel quickly stepped in and prevented the fisticuffs, while others created a wooden cordon around the entrance of the building. They thereafter prevailed on the protesters to maintain their distance behind the cordon as they continue to express their anger at the state of the nation. The protesters carried banners with various inscriptions including "Break up Nigeria to save lives." Buhari is a life patron of Fulani terrorists. Fulani pose an existential threat to indigenous sub-Saharan Africans. Fulani are terrorists. Free Sowore, drop all charges against him. Stop giving loans to Nigerian government. End Fulani terrorism in Nigeria. The pro and anti-Buhari protests were a constant feature throughout the duration of the President Buhari's participation at the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The pro-government protesters who congregated under the name of One Nigeria carried out their solidarity marches around the Nigerian consulate daily, stressing the need for the country to remain as one. They also carried posters which affirmed the claim of killings and marginalizations were propaganda against the country. One of the leaders of the Yoruba nation, Folusho Arelegba, who apologized to some of the journalists hounded, said, "Please forgive our people. Their actions are based on the genocide ongoing in Nigeria, the rate of our naira value to other currencies. We pray for divine intervention. We walk and pray, pray and walk. He will keep in perfect peace those whose mind has stayed on him because we trust in him." Isaiah 26:3. One thing that keeps us as Nigerians going in spite of everything we're facing from Buhari's administration, the sort of trauma, difficulty, hardship, oppression, everything that he's using is just we trust and believe God that one day all of these will be over. So we know it's not news that Nigerians have been protesting at the United Nations during their 76th session of their assembly. United Nations, they've been meeting, and President Muhammad Buhari gave a speech yesterday. Very, very unbelievable speech filled with so much lies. Well, guys, you can check that out. That was when he was telling the United Nations that he's done a lot, that terrorism is under control. His efforts in combating insecurity is paying off. He told a lot of lies. Well, while that was going on, the members of the Yoruba nation and indigenous people of Biafra IPOB invaded the premises of the Nigerian House, Kudirat Abiola Corner in Mahamanta, and they were protesting against President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. We know at the same time, the people Buhari hired to sing his praises, They were at the same time singing Unite Nigeria. It's unbelievable. These guys, they don't have conscience. And the same prayer Reno Mokri prayed for them. This same thing played out in the United Kingdom when Reno Mokri put together a protest against President Muhammad Buhari to return back home to Nigeria to come and have his checkup back here in Nigeria. These sort of pro-Buhari protesters came as well, also singing his praises. And Reno Moki prayed for them that all of the good things that you are claiming that Buhari has done, those same things will be done in your life, in your family. Prayed for their family members, because it's unbelievable. Everything is glaring, very glaring. The same government that will not proscribe the activities of bandits, the same government that will not support southern governors to place a ban on open grazing. Let's do things the modern ways. Ranching is what is used now. Cows should not be moving on the streets. They should not be moving around. They should resort to ranching. This same government, that is the same government that these pro-Buhari protesters, who were obviously paid, they were singing and they were claiming that what is being shared on the news, they are all exaggerated, they are all propagandas. God will continue to show us mercy. Well, as the anti-Buhari protesters carried on, police had to turn up because Nigerians are frustrated. The hardship under this government is too much. They carried a lot of placards, and this was promised that regardless of what Buhari is going to tell the United Nations, we are still going to lend our voice. We'll put our voice out there. So the protesters carried banners with various inscriptions, including "Break up Nigeria to save lives." Buhari is a life patron of Fulani terrorists. All he does is support anything that has to do with Fulanis, with the Fulani headsmen. Anything you speak against, we've never seen anything that Buhari has done against Fulani headsmen. To say, where are the ones that have been arrested? None of them have been arrested. So the banners carried different things. Fulani pose an existential threat to indigenous sub-Saharan Africans. Fulani are terrorists. Free Oveŕ, that is still one oppression under President Muhammad Buhari's government. Free Oveŕ, drop all charges against him. Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. Not just that, Sunday Igboho, even if he's not in Nigeria, but we know that President Muhammad Buhari's hand is in all of what is happening to Sunday Igboho. It's truly unbelievable. I know it was during this conference that the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres gave President Muhammad Buhari a task to ensure that Africa remains together, remains united. Meanwhile, Buhari cannot even keep his own together. We will continue to trust God, that God will show us mercy, and also that this protest will leave. It will leave a mark. It will be something that they will look into. We know it's in all sort of media platform. United Nations Assembly, they must have seen this. So we believe that something will be done. Well, guys, let's hear your own take. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.